Hey, it's Risa G coming in from her cluttered kitchen for a very quick sheet pan fajita recipe and the accoutrements for it. If you've been following my meal prep and meal plan videos, you know that I already made the chicken for this. Roasted it last week and refrigerated it or froze it until this week. And I roasted off the vegetable part of it, the peppers and the onions, the other day and refrigerated them so that all I have to do today is heat them up together and make the sides. So I will show you quickly the sheet pan part of it, and while it's in the oven heating up, I'll show you my salsa and the quick Mexican rice I'm doing in the Instant Pot. So here's the chicken. It was already roasted with some Mexican spices. I used fajita seasoning from Penzeys. But I used the basic recipe from Rachael Ray's show last week for her sheet pan fajitas. A couple of poblano peppers, an onion, and she used some bell peppers. I also added some yellow squash, okay, because I had it and needed to get rid of it. She marinated it, and that's what's left in this container is what's left of the marinade. Because I didn't marinate the chicken originally, I'm just going to brush it on, alright. While I heat up the chicken, it'll get the flavor of the marinade a little bit. Now I'm using chicken thighs with the bone and the skin. And I will most likely peel off the fat and just slice it up for the actual fajitas. Okay? Alright, the vegetables were already marinated for a couple of hours in that mixture, and they were already cooked. So I'm just going to heat it all up together on 350 for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Then I'm going to take the chicken off the bone, take off the skin, and chop it up, and then put the whole thing into my stackable steamer in the Instant Pot on top of the cooked rice, because I'll cook the rice, and leave it for everybody for their meal. And I'll take some chicken and some vegetables and my accoutrements, which I'll show you, and that way everybody's eating their meal when they want it. Steve will eat about 6:37, Trevor will eat after karate, and I will eat at the store. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to put it in the oven, even though the oven isn't totally ready yet. I'm going to put it in there. Alright, meanwhile, I am going to make Mexican rice, okay, but without tomato. I found a recipe from Pati Jinich, I don't know, and I'm adapting it for the Instant Pot. Hers, I think, is done in a Dutch oven or a skillet or a saucepan or something, a regular classic way to cook rice. I'm going to do it in the Instant Pot, okay. She uses oil. I'm using coconut oil. She uses long grain rice. That's what this is. It's basmati. I've got some onion. She uses some lime, some chicken broth. Now she uses a lot because she's doing 2 cups of rice. So the old standard measurement was, if you're going to do 2 parts rice, you do 4 parts water. But since I'm doing it in the Instant Pot and it's 1 to 1, that's what I'm doing. A cup of rice to a cup of liquid. A little lime. And then she puts jalapeno or serrano pepper and celery and parsley. I don't have parsley. On top. She lays it on top. And then removes it when she serves it. So I guess you're just getting the seasoning. That's all I wanted. Alright, So I'm going to do it. I'd say most American versions of Mexican rice have tomato in it. I'm not going to use tomato because I'm following her recipe, and she's Mexican. So it's her version, okay? I'm going to plug in my Instant Pot. And I'm going to press the manual button. No, not the manual button. I'm going to press the saute button for right now. I'm using my trusty clip. Alright, and she uses a tablespoon or so, I think, of oil. I'm going to use a little bit of coconut oil. Okay. Alright, I'm going to melt this down. And, alright, as we know, it says on. In a couple of seconds, it'll say hot. And then it'll start melting. It's on the more, which means on the high pressure setting. And, I don't know why it's not starting to melt yet. It's not even starting to feel hot yet. Okay, well, let's wait a second for that. That's the right button, right? Yeah, that's saute. Yeah, it's starting to melt. Okay. It's starting to melt. Of course, I melted. Alright, it's not on hot yet, but it will be any second. Okay. Alright, so it's melting, or almost melted. And I'm not going to wait for it to say hot. Let's test it. See? You hear the sizzle. Alright, it's ready. I'm adding onion. Okay. Alright, so she does not ask for any garlic in this. Alright, I'm just going to soften it for a minute or two. Then I'm going to add the rice. I'm going to toast it a little bit, yeah, a minute or so. Add the chicken broth, a little salt, and I'm going to lay the celery and the jalapeno on top and cook it for 4 minutes on high pressure on manual. Now I could press the rice button, and that would be 12 minutes. It has a default of 12 minutes, but I like the 4 minutes with a 5 or 10 minute natural release. That way when I open the vent, it doesn't spurt starch all over the place. If you use the rice setting, you have to use a quick release, and then starch goes off everywhere. So, alright, so the rice is a little softer. Now I have also soaked this rice, the basmati rice. It's a cup of rice. I soaked it, because that's what they say for most of the recipes with rice, is to soak it. Okay, so they say to soak it and then drain it well so it's all dry. And that was dry for a good half an hour or so already. Alright, so I'm just going to stir it a little bit. Let it remove this. Okay, and let that toast for a minute. Of course, a little bit of salt. I'm not going to use a lot of salt because I'm using a bouillon for the chicken broth, and that has a lot of salt in it. Now, obviously, I know that if I don't stir it and I let it just stay for a minute, then it'll probably toast better. But I'm a little impatient. Alright. Okay. Let this toast for a minute. Does she even say to brown it? She says not to brown it. She says until it becomes kind of an opaque, milky white, which I think it's starting to do. And it feels heavier as you stir it. Never heard of anybody saying that before. But, alright, so since it's not supposed to brown, see, we're used to recipes that say it has to brown. She doesn't want it brown. Okay. I am going to add cloth. I'm going to stir around and make sure I scrape up any little bits that are on the bottom, so I don't get that nasty burn word. I have gotten it a couple times with this specific model and also with my Duo Plus, even if I think that I'm totally clean. So, alright, okay, I am going to turn it off. Okay, I'm going to put the celery and the chili in. I'm going to put it face up. That way not too much of the spice actually gets into. Alright, I'm going to lock the lid. Always a little difficult to do this. I don't know why. Alright. Go. Okay, so now that I got the lid on, it was a little finicky today. I'm going to press manual. I'm going to press 4 minutes with the the plus and the minus button. Down to 4. Okay, and then in 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, something like that, I will do a 5-minute natural release or so, maybe 10-minute natural release. And then I'm going to add the lemon juice. I'm going to re-season, and that's the rice. Alright, and then I'm going to take the chicken and the vegetables that are in the oven. I'm going to take the chicken off the bone. I'm going to put it in one of these. I'm going to put the vegetables in the other, and throw everything in there on warm. There you go. And then I will make salsa, and I have green salsa also, and Hatch green chili sauce for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the chicken is all heated up with the marinade on it. I'm going to take all the skin off the chicken. I'm going to bone it. I'm going to slice it up. I already took a little of it for my dinner. It's all set up and ready to go. And no, the skin is not going to go to waste. So I'm not going to throw it out. Be a good snack at some point. Oh. Alright, so obviously the skin is off. Just gonna cut the bones out. And I'll save the bones because I know Steve likes to chew it up. I think that his little snack.
If you're suffering with knee pain due to osteoarthritis or other sources, there's an alternative to surgery and an alternative to medications. This alternative is a revolutionary treatment available now at Premier Osteoarthritis.
And then I will shred up the rest of this, stick it in my stackable steamer. Okay. Hopefully there's some skin on that, but I'll leave it. I know your father will like that.
If you're suffering from debilitating pain in your knees, there is a solution without surgery, without potentially addictive medications. Experience results you didn't dream possible. Call now for a same-day appointment. Call 844-OLD-KNEE. That's 844-653-5633. Premier osteoarthritis centers of New Jersey and New York.
Okay, so that takes care of the chicken. Uh-oh, I think somebody, there's a snack for somebody on the floor. Okay. That takes care of the chicken. Alright, I'll save this part. Okay, so here's the chicken. Is that good? There's the vegetables. I'm putting them in the stackable steamer. Okay, now I'm going to take the jalapeno and the celery out of the rice. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna put it on warm. I'm gonna drizzle in some lime and a little bit. I made a thing of salsa, very basic, tomatoes and onion, a tiny bit of jalapeno, salt and pepper, no oil, see, a little bit of lime, okay? And I'm going to put the stackable steamer right, I'm going to put right on top of the rice. I guess what I'll do is I'll put the rice around the sides and put this in. Alright, and then put the cover on. There you go. It fits right over. It's on warm. Okay, it's on the warm setting. Okay. And then, okay, so we got our salsa, we got our rice, we got our chicken, we got our vegetable. So Steve and everybody can serve themselves. And then, why don't you show over here? Actually, I forgot one thing. Gotta take some. Oh yeah, I'm not taking rice. I am taking rice. Screw it. Because I forgot to separate out the onion mixture. Okay. Well, it's after 30 days of my plan, so I can have all the rice. Ooh, I really smell the coconut. Okay. Alright, so dinner is ready for everybody. And here's everything for me. All I do is slip it right into the microwave at the store. I have a separate thing of salsa and some hatch green chili salsa sauce and my green goop ready to go for me at the store. I'll just heat it up in the microwave oven in a minute or so, and that's what I'll have for dinner. And yes, I did take some rice, but it's been over 30 days since I started my whole 30 thing, so it's past the 30 mark, and I can have a little bit. So I'm going to treat myself to a little rice. Otherwise I would have had cauli rice with some lime and some onion in it, but I forgot to do that. So anyway, that's it. You saw sheet pan chicken and veg all done, prepped and ready to go. So I just heated them up, made some rice in the Instant Pot, put it all together, made a little salsa on the side, had some other sauces ready to go. Everybody can eat when I'm gone, and I can eat when I'm gone too. Wasn't that easy? So thanks to Rachael Ray for the inspiration for the sheet pan fajitas, and I will link a recipe, her recipe, in the bottom of this, so you can see the official original. And I hope you like this video. And of course, subscribe, press the little bell, and come back again to Reese's Cluttered Kitchen for some more easy meal planning, meal prep, and recipes. Bye.